By the way, I'm getting married, but I'm not inviting you to the wedding. It would be embarrassing to have a dropout like you at a wedding ceremony. I hope you know your place well enough to understand that.
You're getting married? Congratulations! But I understand I won't be invited to the wedding. I get it. It's disappointing, but if that's what you've decided, I have no choice.
Thanks for making this easy. Talking to idiots like you is usually such a waste of time and energy. It usually irritates me. But you give up quickly and are understanding about things like this. I guess I don't hate that about you.
Thank you.
No, that was just sarcasm. You really are an idiot. Learn to read between the lines.
Well, but you did say you don't hate that about me, and I was already aware that you disliked me, so if there's even one thing about me that you can acknowledge, I'm happy about that.
I hate how you act all sweet and innocent like that, though.
No, I didn't mean it that way.
I don't know how our parents can stand living with such an idiot. I guess you can at least cook, right? Or maybe cleaning is your special skill.
Well, I'm not bad at housework.
I figured. I mean, what else would a dropout have to offer? But seriously, why did my brother marry a dropout like you when he actually went to college? Even I'm an elite who studied abroad extensively. You two just don't match.
I think you might be misunderstanding some things. When we had our wedding, you were studying abroad, so we didn't really get a chance to talk properly.
Huh? I'm not interested in hearing about you anyway, so you don't need to talk. Studying abroad. I could have come back if my parents paid for it, and I could have gone if I wanted to, but I chose not to.
I see, so that's how it was.
Yeah, because honestly, I have zero interest in my sister-in-law. When I called you that one time to say hello, you started going on about how you didn't go to high school, and I was like, oh, I see. Because the middle school you went to was a prestigious private school, right? It's a pretty impressive private integrated junior-senior high school. But then you couldn't even move up to the high school part even though it's an escalator system. That means you were either really bad at school or had friendship drama. Either way, that's pretty bad.
There was a reason I didn't go to high school.
What kind of reason could possibly justify not going to high school? Let me guess. Family problems, money issues, or maybe you just couldn't keep up academically. I bet it was academic problems, wasn't it?
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Everything's complicated when you're trying to make excuses. That's what people always say when they mess up their lives. It's complicated. No, it's not. You just weren't good enough.
You seem to have it all figured out.
Well, my brother has always been into girls like you, so when I saw your face, I was like, oh, I get it, again. He's always had a thing for the helpless type.
So, that's what you thought of me.
Oh, did you not want to hear about his ex-girlfriends? Sorry. I've been going overseas since I was young, so people often tell me I'm too straightforward. But hey, I only speak facts. And that whole thing of beating around the bush doesn't suit me.
It's fine. Please don't worry about it. I'm actually happy to hear honest talk. I can see your personality clearly too.
Don't you know how to fight back properly? Or are you simply too scared to talk back? Most people would at least try to defend themselves when someone's being this direct with them.
No, it's not particularly like that. If possible, I'd like to handle things peacefully. I don't see the need to get into an argument here.
Ugh, I really hate your type. You're like those doormats who just take whatever people dish out. It's actually kind of pathetic to watch.
I understand that's how you see me.
See, there you go again with that passive response. Don't you have any pride, any backbone? It's honestly frustrating talking to someone who won't even stand up for themselves.
I choose my battles carefully.
That's just another way of saying you're a coward. Well, whatever works for you. You're such a boring woman. Anyway, I'm inviting my brother to the wedding, but not you. So I just wanted to make that crystal clear, okay?
I understand.
Oh, I forgot to mention, get some cake ready right now. You're just a bottom feeder dropout sister-in-law, so doing that much should be natural for you, right?
Huh? Right now? Why so suddenly?
My amazing lawyer fiancé is coming over to say hello right now. I already told him he can treat a bottom feeder like you like a slave, so act like a slave, okay?
A lawyer? Your fiancé?
Since he's my fiancé, that's pretty much a given, isn't it? Did you think I was going to marry some loser like my brother did?
I see.
He's incredibly successful, by the way. Makes more money in a month than you probably see in a year. He went to the best law school and works at a prestigious firm, the complete opposite of this household.
That sounds impressive.
It is, and he comes from a good family, too, unlike some people. His parents are both professionals. They have standards, you know. They believe in marrying within their social class.
I'm sure they do.
Let me be clear. From now on, you're going to work as our slave forever. If you talk back today, I'll knock you out. We have an elite lawyer on our side. There's no reason you should get all tough with us. It's in your best interest to just obey quietly.
I understand. I'll hurry and get the cake ready.
There's a new cake shop that opened by the station, right? Get cake from there. I've been wanting to try it. And if you don't, I'm going to lose it. If you don't want to embarrass me in front of my fiancé, you better listen to what I say.
Understood. I'll go get it.
And make sure you get the expensive ones. None of that cheap grocery store nonsense. I want the kind that costs at least $30 per piece. My fiancé is used to quality.
All right.
Oh, and dress nicely when you serve us. I don't want him thinking we live in complete squalor. Though I suppose there's only so much you can do to improve your appearance.
I'll do my best. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Stop acting tough. Bow down to someone who lives in a different world than you, you dropout.
A different world, huh? You're right. I'll remember that well.
Good. Finally, you're starting to understand the hierarchy here. It's about time you learned your place in this family.
Sarah, did you really go to buy cake? You don't need to do that stuff. Not for someone like her. You're too kind, Sarah.
It's okay, Rick. I wanted to check out that cake shop by the station anyway.
Even if you say that, she called you a slave, right? If you do things for her after being called that, you'll really be like a slave. You don't need to do that.
Thanks for worrying about me, but really, something like this doesn't bother me. But it was closed today. Apparently, it's their day off. What should I do?
Seriously? Then don't worry about buying anything. It's her fault for suddenly saying she's coming over to say hello. That's the kind of thing you should give advance notice about.
Yeah, but I'd feel bad for her fiancé if we have nothing to offer. There's a traditional sweets shop nearby that's open, so I'll go there.
You know what? I'm getting tired of her treating you like this. She's been doing this kind of thing since we were kids, but now she's involving you, and I can't stand it anymore.
What was she like when you were growing up?
Always looking down on people, always thinking she was better than everyone else. Even when we were little, she'd boss me around and act like she was the queen of the house.
That must have been difficult for you.
It was, but I learned to deal with it. What really bothers me is how she talks to you. You don't deserve any of that treatment.
I appreciate you saying that, but honestly, I've dealt with worse people in my professional life. She's actually pretty predictable.
Professional life? You mean at your old job?
Yeah, something like that. People like her are everywhere once you know what to look for.
Still, family should be different. She should treat you with basic respect.
It's not a big deal. I'll get something from the store.
You really don't have to, but thank you.
I'll take care of it, don't worry.
And don't let it get to you if she says mean things. She's always been like that. She has this habit of putting people down to build herself up, so just ignore her.
Yeah, I figured that's what it was. I thought she just wanted to put me down.
Well, you saw right through her as usual. You've always been good at reading people.
It comes with experience, I guess. But actually, I'm more worried about you than myself. You've probably had a hard time with her putting you down and looking down on you since we got married, right?
Thanks for worrying about me. Well, let's talk about that later in detail, but she's probably acting out because her younger brother got married before she did. She might say even worse things today.
You think that's what this is about? Her being jealous?
Partly, yes, but there's more to it than that. She's used to being the center of attention, and having a sister-in-law disrupts that dynamic.
I never thought about it that way.
People like her need to feel superior to others to maintain their self-image. When that's threatened, they lash out, and now you have to take her crap too.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to that kind of thing from work, so it doesn't bother me at all. Plus, when I recognize someone as an enemy, I just don't engage with them. It doesn't affect my heart at all, so don't worry.
You're really reassuring. If she doesn't invite you to her wedding, then I'm not going either. I'm gonna tell her that clearly today.
I see. Got it. I'll leave that decision up to you as her brother. But maybe there won't be a wedding at all after today.
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, just a feeling I have. Sometimes these grand introductions don't go as planned.
You sound like you know something I don't.
Not really. I'm just good at predicting how certain personality types interact with each other.
I'm so sorry about earlier. I had no idea things would turn out like this. I never imagined that you would know my fiancé.
This is exactly what I expected would happen. When you said you were bringing your lawyer fiancé, I actually had a feeling. I knew a lawyer who had gotten engaged, but I hadn't heard the details, so I never thought it would be you. And I only recently heard from you that you were engaged, so I was surprised that this was the connection.
But you're a dropout, right? So how are you some kind of hotshot lawyer? What's that supposed to mean? This doesn't make any sense.
Just as it sounds. I'm embarrassed to call myself this, but I'm apparently known as a hotshot lawyer. Your fiancé's law firm and ours work together. We've collaborated on several major cases. Your fiancé is actually quite talented.
What? I didn't know any of that.
That's why, when I showed up late with sweets and your first words to me were, "You're too late, you worthless slave," and you immediately threw hot tea at me, it makes sense that your fiancé turned pale seeing that behavior.
I was nervous about introducing him. I didn't mean for it to come out that harsh.
Throwing hot tea at someone isn't something that happens by accident due to nerves.
But wait, you're supposed to be a dropout, right? A dropout becoming a lawyer is impossible. Isn't that some kind of scam?
That's an interesting assumption. It's nothing like that. I'm a legitimate practicing lawyer. You mentioned before that I have good skills at not fighting back no matter what people say to me. That's because I get exhausted from fighting back at work, so in my personal life, I don't want to waste mental energy thinking of comebacks. Plus, fighting back against your petty comments would be completely pointless, so honestly, I just wasn't bothering to engage with you.
Don't get cocky, then explain how a dropout like you became a lawyer.
About that. I am indeed a middle school graduate in terms of my education here, but after that, I attended high school overseas.
Huh? What? What do you mean?
My father was transferred to New York, and we lived there for a while. It was pretty tough at the time, but thanks to that experience, I'd say I'm able to work successfully today. I ended up studying law again when I came back, but back then, a friend's father was a lawyer making really good money, and I admired that, so I decided to become a lawyer too.
What's with that? That's such a materialistic reason.
Is it? I thought it was practical. I saw someone who had achieved financial success through their intelligence and hard work, and I wanted to follow that path.
So that's why you didn't go to that elite integrated junior-senior high school?
That's right. Thank you for calling it elite. I had worked hard to get into that middle school through entrance exams, and I was looking forward to enjoying high school with the same friends through the escalator system. But honestly, my intelligence would have served me well wherever I went, so I managed just fine overseas with my natural abilities.
Natural abilities? You're really full of yourself, aren't you?
Am I? Or am I just stating facts? I graduated summa cum laude from law school and passed the bar on my first try. Those aren't opinions, they're achievements.
Huh? You're totally changing your character. You seemed much more modest before.
I can act modest, but if I were truly a modest person deep down, I couldn't handle being a lawyer. But isn't this better? I'm not hurting anyone or causing trouble for anyone. Unlike your self-proclaimed straightforward girl act that hurts people, I'm simply stating facts.
My straightforward act? I'm not acting. I really am straightforward.
Being straightforward would mean being honest about your own failures as well as other people's, but you only use your honesty as a weapon against others while making excuses for yourself.
What did you just say? I've been quietly listening to you get all full of yourself. Why did you hide something so important? If you had told me about this properly, none of this would have happened.
I think your fiancé is lucky to have discovered your true nature in such an unexpected way. And I wasn't hiding anything. You simply never asked me about it. When you heard the word dropout, you immediately made assumptions about my life, lost interest in me, and stopped asking questions. Then you started putting me down, so I thought, so that's the kind of person you are, and decided to observe you as a human study.
Because when an elite like me hears dropout, anyone would think that person is a bottom feeder living in a different world.
I still think there's something wrong with that way of thinking, but if you're going to say that, then I thought the same thing about you. I thought you were a narrow-minded, petty person not worth having a real conversation with, so I stopped trying to have a real conversation with you.
Who do you think you're talking to? Even if it's a joke, that's way too rude.
It's not a joke. If you think this is a joke, your head is in the clouds. What a waste of conversational energy.
Stop making fun of me. I've had enough of you putting me down.
Well, you've been putting people down extensively, so if you're telling me to speak up, I'm going to be honest. Because you act like you're an elite, but you're really just trash who threw money down the drain on study abroad programs.
Trash? Did you just call me trash?
If the shoe fits, you've been calling me much worse for much longer.
But that's different. You really were a dropout.
And you really are someone who steals from family members and wastes other people's money. Which is worse?
What are you trying to say?
I heard from Rick. You initially got your parents to pay for study abroad and just fooled around and partied, but you barely learned anything. Since you were just playing around overseas, your parents got fed up and stopped paying for you.
That's none of your business.
But you still wanted to keep playing around, so you stole money from your brother Rick and ran away with it. I heard you took all the money Rick had worked desperately hard to save for his own study abroad plans.
It's the victim's fault for getting scammed.
You offered to help him with study abroad procedures, took his money for that purpose, but actually processed everything under your own name and even lied about the departure date to make your escape.
So what? That was ages ago. Rick doesn't even complain about it anymore, and he's making tons of money now, so he didn't need to study abroad anyway. I needed it more.
What are you talking about? This isn't about need. What you did was a legitimate crime.
So what? Are you going to make siblings sue each other?
Rick doesn't seem to care about the money anymore, so we won't do anything like that. But after today, we're cutting ties.
Huh? What?
You're surprised? Do you really think that you can still rely on your brother after all this?
I mean, what am I supposed to do now? My engagement is broken off because of you. My parents are fed up with me and kicked me out. You're going to take responsibility for this, right? If you had just been able to buy cake at that cake shop, none of this would have happened.
I'd recommend you stop that victim mentality thinking. First of all, if you had told us in advance when you were coming over to say hello, this wouldn't have happened. Don't you think so? Well, your true nature would have been exposed sooner or later anyway, so it's too late for regrets now.
Wait, help me patch things up with him. I'll apologize for what happened today, and I'll be nicer from now on. So please, somehow.
You should try living on your own for once and learn that there are some things in life that can't be fixed. Take responsibility for yourself instead of blaming those around you. You did something irreversible for the sake of your own ego, so go to hell and restart your life from there. Megan finally understood that her position was dangerous and came to us apologizing, but of course, we didn't listen. Abandoned by her fiancé and having lost the dream of the housewife lifestyle she'd been fantasizing about, she came crying and begging for help, but we just laughed and told her it was her own fault. After that, we moved away quickly and blocked her on all messaging apps. But according to rumors, Megan reluctantly found part-time work and is somehow making ends meet on minimum wage. Serves her right.